on.
Good. Okay, good evening, everyone. It's Tuesday, December the 2nd. We're into the Christmas season now for sure. This is our committee of the whole meeting. It's a prelude to our regular council meeting next Tuesday night, which is going to be riveting to watch as we bring down the budget for 2026. So we hope that we get a lot of viewers next week to see the budget for next year. We're going to start with the calling meeting to order and ask for approval of the agenda. Could I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Councillor Deering, second by Councillor Franey. All those in favour of the agenda? Motion carried. Next, we have the minutes from November the 4th. So, I need a motion to adopt the minutes from November the 4th. Councillor Petton, seconded by Councillor Bedcock. And we'll take a second to run through them. Page 1 of 8 is preliminary stuff. Page 2 is we're beginning into discussion. Administration and Finance. Nothing. We'll go to page 3, which is Planning and Development and Protective Services. Is any questions, comments? Nothing. We'll move on to page 4, which is more planning and development. Hearing nothing. Page 5, which is Public Works and Engineering. Hearing nothing. Page 6, more Public Works. I will say to Director Elms that I've heard so many compliments about that Remembrance Day themed crosswalk, so that was a real hit. People are really respecting it, so maybe next year we can expand that to the other side of the Legion as well.
Did we do that ourselves? So if we done that one ourselves, in the future, are we able to, do we necessarily have to contract out all of our crosswalks?
That's the plan.
That was
my word. Myself and the CEO, we got a working plan in progress, but that was the first one they done.
okay.
I think they done a pretty good job with it. So
Yeah.
Time consuming. We don't have the proper equipment, but
Well, maybe it's something to look into because it'll pay for itself in a couple of years, I guess.
The other point that was brought up to me about the Remembrance themed crosswalk is that it'd be nice to have one on each side of the Legion, but also more importantly, if we could put one in each area of the town, like Sherriston, Butlerville, Coley's Point, East End, because we certainly had veterans from all areas of town. So maybe that's something to think about next year. All right. Page 7, more Public Works. Hearing nothing. Page 8. Hearing nothing. All those in favor of the minutes from November the 4th? Motion carried. So, we're going to make a little jump ahead in the agenda, and we're going to do Planning and Development first, and I'll hand this over to Municipal Enforcement Officer? Or,
It's all good. There's only one, so we're good.
okay?
So this one here that you got is a variance request for 40A Whitney Street. The lot is not big enough to accommodate building line setback in the first problem with it. So they wanted council to vary the front by 10%. But another issue on the application is that at one point in the rear yard, and it's on the survey attached there, it's only 6 meters. That requirement is 8. In order to vary it, you would need 7.2 meters there. So the building line setback on the back can't be varied.
That's that middle corner there, is it? It's a
6.03 is the middle measurement.
So that's the problem, right?
Yeah. So that would have to be the 7.2 to be able to vary it. Because really your rear yard setback is the closest point to your property line.
Now I'm going to add my opinion on it. Of course, our rules and regulations are our rules and regulations. So looking at the front 7.2, that's allowing your 10%, right? So that's okay. Now, here's my spin on it. If you took, and I don't see actual, I didn't crunch the numbers, but I should have. If you did an actual square footage of the front, using that 7.2, with a square footage of the back, I think it would work. Following me? You don't?
We have also in the past,
Because it's a unique piece of land, right?
yeah, so we have also in the past, when we've had this issue, where if you had one quarter was more, especially more than your required setback, and say the other corner, because there's lots of pieces of land that are weird shapes,
It's all over the place.
is that we would allow almost an average, and if the average fell into the variance without causing any undue issue for, especially on the back end, on the front end you got to be a bit more careful because of the clearances with the road.
Right.
We have allowed it in the past where if you had one side that was inside the variance but the other side was well outside, you kind of take an average of the two that allowed them to, on the total, you know, like
So that's basically
for
where,
the degree they were outside the variance because
Right.
one side is more, and I mean it's,
so that's where my mindset is. Like,
so that's what I'm looking at.
your front, what we're seeing is 7.2.
Yes.
That's including that 10%. So if you've done the math on the actual square footage, I like to use square foot because I'm old fashioned.
Mhm.
And if you did the same thing on the back,
Yeah,
I'd like to know what the actual numbers would be. I think square footage wise you'd do it, but I don't know because we never crunched numbers. I never crunched them.
So,
That's my take on it.
looking at this, the two back corners are fine, but in the middle of the proposed house, because a piece of land juts out,
Right,
it throws everything out of whack.
100%. And I guess that's, well, Dean was on planning long before I was. You see that all over the town all the time, right?
Okay, we'll defer this to Director Squires to come back with us with a report on that, to see where that puts us.
Just roughly, because the
we
front,
have made that allowance in the past.
If you have on the average is here.
We are good.
yeah. And again, my perspective too, that little lot is only a 20-foot house. So really, it's only like a mobile home. That's just my personal perspective.
Especially if, I mean, it would, I think you'd still have to advertise it maybe,
100%.
because of
I'm glad
that,
you brought that up,
you
yes.
know,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, a variance has to be advertised, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even,
Councillor Barry?
Yeah, I got my hand up, no one looking at me.
And I tell you why, Sean, you're right behind Sean and I can't see you.
Sean moved it.
As the first time I read someone say, they can't see me. The part is to reiterate what the mayor said, the piece that's out of whack. If you took the distance out in length, you're not talking much there to slow this up.
No, it's only in the center.
Yeah,
That's what I'm looking at, from the 8.72 to the 6.03.
Yeah.
You're not talking a lot of land there.
no. But another thing, guys, if you don't mind me, I don't see like where are they going to be putting their driveway? That's not really on there. We don't need that as such right yet. But it's something else to keep in mind too, right? Are they going to be coming in from the right of way? I would say Whitney Street possibly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they got the choice.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that's where Sean would know where the services are.
Okay, are we okay with giving Director Squires that direction to find the average, get back to us and see where that falls?
We
If
can
it
just
does, then we can
discuss it at next
maybe
meeting.
discuss it at the next council meeting and look for,
I think what we'll do is look under our regulations, what we've done in the past. Is that 7.2 after the variance?
Yes, yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, so that could mean a difference on our regulations too.
Yep.
We also should also note that this particular case is one particular case. We treat all cases totally different. We take one person and deal with them one at a time,
I agree.
okay?
Yep,
Is he in the already get this done or? what's-
I don't think so. We talked to him when he brought in his application, and water and sewer can't be hooked up now until the spring,
Oh,
so.
okay, so we got time, okay.
this is a spring project, I would think.
I would say.
Okay, so we'll look forward to that report. Okay? All right, we're going to go back now to administration and finance. Deputy Mayor Carey and CAO. So,
Well, the deputy mayor.
Yeah, I'll take the lead.
Here, and I'll assist with him.
Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, fellow councillors, I have a letter here for approval of Mike Murphy, Fire Chief, for another 2-year term. In accordance with the Bay Roberts Fire Rescue Operating Policy, the Fire Chief is always appointed on a 2-year term, and with the current term concluded, a job ad was posted, sent to all the current members of our fire department inviting applications for a 2-year position. It was posted on November 20th and closed on the 27th of November 25. The only applicant was the current chief, Mike Murphy. No interviews were required, and the CAO is pleased with the work of Chief Murphy and is recommending council to approve his appointment on another 2-year term. So, I don't think we go with the recommendation here. We have a discussion with regards to
Well, we discussed it, I guess, and there's not really that much to discuss. The policy has been followed. That was put in place under the revamped operating procedure. I guess the only decision now is to ratify it at the next meeting.
Next meeting, yeah.
Yeah, and no, I don't mind speaking. Everyone knows how passionate I am about the fire department. I don't think that's any secret. If I thought that the chief wasn't the right choice, I'd have no trouble letting him know and anyone else. But he is doing a good job, so I think this is going to be a good move for the next couple of years again.
It's a good question there. Reading this, it said the post was sent to all current members. So does that mean that's when Councillor Pettin read it out loud, I guess, at
And
the
it was
meeting?
posted down to the hall. And
There's
Yeah, but it
a,
wasn't sent out in the mail, is what I'm saying, no.
no, it was,
Was it-
again, I'm not familiar, so my apologies, but whatever means of communication the fire department does through some system
Yep.
was sent out through that.
it was sent out on Who's Responding. That's the app that we receive pages
Yeah,
on
that-
as well.
Yep, no, just making sure.
Okay, moving on. Table a letter here from the Eastern Regional Service Board's election for nominees in our sub-region board and the voting process. So the voting for the ERSB's Board of Directors is open and will close on 4:30 p.m. Wednesday, December 17th. Certainly they ask us if we have any questions to reach out to them. And the 3 candidates for the position are Rod Delaney, Town of Cupids, David Pettin, Town of South River, and Elizabeth Whalen of the Town of
Did you skip the
Cox.
municipal assessment, or am I?
No, you skipped one, I think.
Skip one?
Yeah, no problem, buddy.
Yeah,
You're
no,
doing Eastern Regional Service Board,
Okay,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
let's,
fine.
let's
All right, let's go to
keep,
that.
we'll keep on Eastern Regional.
Yeah,
go
we'll
back.
get
Yeah,
that.
no, keep on, that's fine.
That's good, yeah.
I wasn't looking at that one. So good.
Let me get back to it here now. Big fingers.
So
I
do we
can-
fall the
So-
Conception Bay Centre? Is that our ward or sub-region or whatever?
It must be.
I guess if they're asking us to vote.
Mr. Thibault, do we fall into that?
Yep, so Avalon Urban Regional Director's ballot, the municipality is entitled to vote for a position. One
No, we're on
Avalon.
Eastern Regional Service Board.
You go
I
start.
thought you were gonna go
Skip
back,
one
I'm
there.
sorry.
No, we stayed on Eastern
We stayed
Regional.
Okay.
I just didn't think we were Conception Bay Centre, that's why. That's why I'm
That's the
questioning.
question here.
I didn't think we were on.
I didn't think we were either, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's why I'm questioning it. Like, would we vote on the person that's...
Could be voting on the wrong people.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think what we'll do is, I think we should vote, and if we're in the wrong one, we just won't put it through to the public. We'll just correct the other one, that's all.
Okay, so we're voting on this now as a council?
So,
So we're, as a council, we're picking one of these.
Avalon Regional,
Unless someone could prove otherwise that we're not sub-region Ward 8, for example. And I don't have it here in front of me.
so we're back on,
Why don't we delay having the vote till we
Yeah.
can answer that
We
question?
could vote at the public meeting, let's just defer it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if it's not our area, there still must be whatever area we're gonna vote for.
We might just have different choices.
but in
Right.
saying that, a little discussion, like, if you don't mind me saying, I don't really know anyone. on the Avalon Regional, I only know Eric Snow, I don't know the rest, you know what I mean?
No, you aren't the other one.
And the other one, Urban Regional, Fred Earl, Kimberly Street, and Brandon Hall.
Okay,
So Dave, we asked you to seek some clarification.
we're looking at the Eastern Regional Service.
Now, we'll defer to the public meeting, so.
Not problem.
All right,
So we'll go back to the Avalon.
let's go back to
yeah.
Avalon and Urban
Avalon
Region.
Urban Region Director.
No problem.
So this letter is from Elizabeth Moore, Chair of the Nominating Committee for the Avalon and Urban Region Director ballots. And they're asking us, and we are tabling the letter with the attached 2 ballots for our council to consider. Our municipality is entitled to vote for the positions of the Avalon Director and the Urban Director. So on the agency's Board of Directors. Please note that only ballots received at the head office by 4 p.m. on December 18th will be counted. And just moving down for the Urban Regional Director, we have in our adjacent community Fred Earl as a candidate, Kimberly Street from Paradise, and Brandon Hall from Pasadena, and that's from the Urban Regional Director's position. And for the Avalon Regional Director's position, we have from South River Eric Snow, Clark's Beach, Jim Giles, and Ed Durnford from Whitburn.
I'm on the right page now.
Yes.
So, let's start with the Urban Regional Director. So, as a council now, we're going to vote on that, correct?
100%.
Yeah.
So, show of hands, I guess I'll call it each name, and show of hands.
Fred Earl.
Okay, I'll start with Fred Earl. All those in favor of Fred Earl?
Yeah, we'll take someone closer
Okay,
to us. That's
we don't
what
need
we're
to go
gonna
any
do.
further. Fred Earl is the
Yeah.
person of choice for the town of Bay Roberts. Barry? Gotcha. Okay, thank you, Barry. We'll go now to Avalon Regional Director's position.
I'll say Eric Snow, same
We have
thing.
three nominees, Eric Snow, South River, Jim Giles, Clark's Beach, Ed Durnford, Whitburn. So I'll just go with the order that they're in. I'll start with Eric Snow. All those in favor of Eric Snow?
Sure.
Okay, that's unanimous as well. So, okay, that's that done.
So, yeah, and you got me on the right page too.
I got to apologise. I might have slowed down, but I looked on the Eastern Regional Service Board website. It looks like we might be Conception Bay Centre. So if he just wants to do it, then let's
Okay.
just do it.
All right, then let's go back and do
We'll go
it.
back to that one.
Just get it done over with.
Yeah.
Eastern
Didn't
Regional
wanna argue
Service
with you.
Board,
I'm on right.
and we've got
Alright. Rod Laney's there now, so I'll say Rod Laney.
we've got 3 nominees: Rod Delaney of Town of Cubits, Dave Petton, South River, Elizabeth Whalen of Colliers. So I'll go with the order they're in.
I'm for Rod.
So all those in favor of Rod Delaney? Unanimous, again, okay, so Rod Delaney is the choice for the town of Bear Roberts. Okay,
There you
Deputy Mayor Carey, you can carry on, you got one more item there, I think.
Final item. Thank you, Councillor Franny, for the clarification.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't mean to slow it down, but I had a question.
I'm trying to use smaller fingers here and hit the right item. My final item here is from Ascension Collegiate. My understanding is this is an annual donation. We have a letter here addressed to Mayor Seymour, where they're in hosting their diploma and awards night on Thursday, December 17th. And they're certainly asking for presence from the town of Bay Roberts, asking if we could attend, but also in that letter, they are seeking an award donation that we've historically done for $250.
So I'm good with the award, and if no one else can make it, I'm going to be there anyway this year because Bridget is getting her diploma. So if no one else is available, I'm already there.
I'd say we'll put you there. That's a good
Oh
job.
no, like
Thank you very much.
You know,
Well,
it's open to the mayor and deputy mayor, but I'm saying if they got.
Oh yeah, I know.
yeah, they've already reached out to me and invited me, so I told them I would be there.
Okay, well there you go.
Oh, there you
So
go.
you get to spend the evening with your daughter,
Yeah.
celebrating
I
her
was doing it
achievements.
anyway.
That's
I'll
what
sit
I mean.
I'll sit there anyway.
You be where you need to be. So, yeah, this is something that we do every year. It's part of our annual donation. So, we will ratify this in the next meeting, I guess, where we see you.
Correct.
100%,
Okay.
correct?
Okay.
Is there any need to discuss it, or?
No.
No.
No?
Congratulations to everyone getting their diplomas and awards this evening.
Okay,
Always a positive event.
we will move on to Public Works.
No, economic development.
We have somebody here in economic
There
development?
is, it's just not in blue because there's nothing to click on.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't see anything there. Okay, go ahead.
The director's not here, so I did speak to the director last week. These two items are really, they're going to be closed items, but we wanted to bring them up because due to legal and contractual issues. Both of them, the plan is to, for sure, one of them, get it settled away. That's the property issue one. Me and the director have been talking. We got a little plan figured out that we can do just to get this put to bed. So we could discuss that at a closed meeting. The other one is going to be a much bigger discussion. I think I've mentioned to the director as a priority for me. It's one of the reasons that I'm on this committee is that, you know, it's something that I want to make a priority. So it's something that I plan on getting him to tackle with us, and we're going to have a really good discussion on it in the new year.
So, CEO, the first item there, there's no confidentiality in that, is it, or?
it shouldn't be really.
Well, there is
unless-
this on the contract end, I suppose. I don't know.
I,
You can talk about it in general.
Well, is the business part? We want to make some.
Yeah.
We're going to
There's
have to
no-
make some decisions on the business.
there's
part.
no
That's
trouble to
just-
have a discussion on the business park or any contents of the business park,
I
with the
guess
exception of any conversations about the current contract agreement with the
Yeah.
person
they would
that's
have to
hired.
be
Yeah.
closed because
Yeah.
of the.
And this, I think this goes back to budget discussions. I think
Yes.
we've all, in our
Yeah.
budget discussions, emphasized that this has to move forward.
100%.
And
And
in
it's something that-
2026, we need to put a concerted effort out there to get this ball rolling. It's
Yeah,
been
and
sitting there
this-
long enough, things need to change.
Yeah,
Didn't
so that's
the-
what me and the director spoke about
Fair
was,
enough.
you know, getting on this, jump on this early in the new year, get a meeting with council first, and then get involved with any representatives that we need to.
We just apply for, what was the name of that?
Yeah, I was just gonna
funding?
say, you know,
Chief, yes.
you know, council, you guys have been very progressive in the CHIF funding.
Yeah, that's the one.
And one of the priorities was to do some water and sewer upgrades and installation on LT Stick Drive, which would certainly be a great start to developing the business park. And I know as well that as part of our budget discussions, we've had some marketing money and different things put aside to try to advance that as well. So it's a big priority that it's a nice piece of land up there that's really been wasted, so.
And the other issue here is a legal issue. I know we
Yes.
can't get into
Yeah.
that, so we'll leave that alone. All right, so we'll move on to Public Works, and Director Elms is there with us tonight to give us an update.
Buckle up.
Perfect. Myself and Councillor Boring talked about a few of these, but he's luckily, or I don't know if he's luckily, he's in a warmer place than we are right now. And as I mentioned, we'd all like to be there. First item is to approve the partial payment of progress claim number 10 for Water Street Phase 1 project. So this project, we got our last invoice from the contractor, and it went over the funding allocation that we were approved at the beginning of the project. So there was approximately $220,000 left. So what happens is the Department of Municipal Affairs releases that funding. So they released the funding of $101,422 into our account. That also means that we also have to match that as our 50-50 share, so we have to pay $101,422. And then that would conclude our funding arrangement with this project. So then we can clearly identify what costs are 100% the responsibility of the town. So we're just looking now for approval to pay this claim, or pay the $202,844.16. And like I said, this will conclude the funding arrangement for that project, and all costs going forward will be the responsibility of the town.
Your worship, just to add, just for the benefit of the public, or anyone that was wondering how council would let it go over. Council didn't let it go over. Council made a very prudent decision several months ago, realizing that it wouldn't go as far as Barracks Road. It would probably go to the Legion, and Director Elms brought a report, and council in, I guess, trying to finish the job completely to Barracks Road, approved that extra funding. So while we're over, it was approved, and we agreed at that time as well that the extra funds we would fund ourselves, and we would get the money either through gas tax funding, operating, or through a loan. So it was known well in advance, so it's good for that.
And I think it's also important to point out that on all these jobs, well, they're contracted out and at set prices and stuff. There's always unforeseen situations that develop that cause that quote to not be
Correct.
the correct one. And sometimes stuff happens that you weren't prepared for and planned for, and that's above and beyond what the quote was given, so you have to deal with it. So yes, okay. So this will be, I guess, approved at the meeting next Tuesday night, right?
Correct.
Okay. This is for information and discussions now. So, all right, Director Elms, go on to the next one.
So this is sort of a continuation of the last one. So this is, I'm looking for approval now from council to cover those extra costs associated with the Water Street project. So after, like I said, just for some background, during a meeting on June 24th, you guys made the motion to extend the project from, I believe we were able to get to the Klondike, or the Legion there, and we were able to get up to Barracks Road for, approximately 300,000 plus tax. And of course, there's also some other unknowns that may have happened along the way. So the contractor submitted their final claim, number 10, and it was in the amount of $581,000. So that concludes their construction, and the construction contract finished at $3,233,350.20. Still waiting for the invoice from our consulting, but the total cost from our consulting will be $211,473.37. So that gives us a total of $3,444,823.57, and of course that's going to be split 50-50, or up until $2,867,166. So if you subtract those two out, it leaves the town an additional cost of $577,657.41, and that's HST included. So part of the extra cost, council approved manhole covers. That was $34,000 in tax, tax included. We included that Klondike low point, if everyone remembers that little low point. It looks great now. But that was also $17,000 tax included. There was also some unknowns when we went through there. There was actually some stormwater issues on the corner of Streetwood Place. We actually had to put a couple of new culverts in across the road there by the hotel. The head wall at the Legion had to be revamped a little bit with bringing in some armor stone, because that got filled up with I'll call it the sea sand, into our culvert.
Is that where I seen the excavator there at the east end, I'll call it?
Yeah, so we had to put some rocks there, and then we got to go back a couple of times now, just trying to get some rocks to make sure that it's looked after. The hotel area was a little bit, because we were dealing with traffic, and the hotel was always open. You're trying to get people in there, so there was some extra time dealing with water to them and access to them. There's also 3 additional manholes that needed adjustment in this phase. And then when we did the Legion, of course, we had that little Legion paving area that took a little bit extra time to get adjusted. So, like I said, I looked at over all the costs, and I'd advise council that the costs are legitimate. It was completed in order for the project to be completed as per the standards and to benefit the town of Bay Roberts. CEO, of course, when we meet, he's also recommending that the town apply for funding from a Canada Building Fund to assist with paying some of those overages. The town currently got $321,458.29 left to be spent by March 2026.
So just so you're not wondering, as part of our 2026 budget, we approved gas tax funding / Canada Community Building funding for pavement and traffic calming. Okay? we're not, that don't affect that amount of money. That money is still in our budget for 2026. Coincidentally and luckily enough, I got an email from our people in government that said you still got $325,000 left that we need to have spent by March. So the timing of this overreach and the timing of that email worked really well for the town. And I just thought, what a better time to put in the application for that funding. And funny enough, if you took the last invoice that we approved in item 1 and subtracted what we paid, the balance is 325,000, so worked out pretty good.
Okay, Director Elms, move on to the next one.
So, Your Worship, just back to that one,
Yep.
we're requesting at the public meeting approval to pay the extra cost. And further, we're also requesting that we apply, council approved, apply for the Canada Community Building Fund for that total amount of money to go towards the cost overrun for Water Street.
Yep. Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Okay, the next item is a capital expenditure for Water Street Phase 2, not Phase 1. And this is just 2 invoices from Inglo. So status report number 3 is an invoice and it's for $863, HST included. Status report 4 is for $3,231, HST included. And this is just basically fees for preliminary engineering, surveying and stuff like that. Total cost of consulting so far to date on the project is $20,000, HST included. So these expenditures have not been deposited yet, as the day I checked, but they should be deposited shortly. So right now I'm looking for just approval to, when that money comes in, we'll pay these 2 invoices.
Okay,
Okay.
next up.
Next one now, it's capital expenditure for our lift station upgrades. And luckily enough, I don't know if you noticed, we got one of our pumps installed today at Powell's.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's big pumps, they were hoping to get 2 in, you only got 1. But these are the recommendation to pay 2 invoices for this, for lift station upgrades. Status report 4 is work from July 1st to the 31st and is invoiced at $6,133, HST included. Status report 5 is for work from October 1st to October 31st. And the amount invoiced is $4,255, HST included. And monies have been deposited by the government to cover their share of this. So the total cost to the town will be $1,909.87. And just looking for approval to pay those couple of invoices.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, that's good.
Next one is just for your guys, it's I guess the collection calendar for, the garbage collection for next year, 2026. From Eastern Regional Board, and I just wanted to bring it here for your information first to let you see it before we, put it on all our social media website.
Yeah, I know this is going to come out in the mail, but I was just going to say, why don't we, as soon as possible, get it out there.
Get it out on our social media too.
Website, social media, yeah.
So is that all the same as like this year past, there's no changes into the?
Yeah, it looks like Tuesday, Wednesday, and
Well,
same as always.
the other thing important tonight too is that unlike this year, where it was a transition year, next year there'll only be one bulk cleanup.
One about, yeah.
And it'll be in the spring, it'll be conducted by Eastern Waste Management, and you'll have to make an appointment during the time period that they set forward, right?
That's correct. The letter is sent to them for hopefully requesting for it to be in spring.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted.
Quick, can I just say something? I know all of us have had a few texts around now about seeing some stuff
Mhm.
out to the curbs, and of course Greg is gone. But what have we done with that to deal with that? It's kind of a little off topic, but yet it's still part of the cleanup, right? There's lots and lots of places around town where there's.
I can maybe speak to that a little bit, because I know the MEOs have been going around.
Yeah.
I think they've got a standard
So
note form done up,
Yeah.
that they've been knocking on the doors and informing people that
good.
of
Yeah.
the town cleanup is over, this is your responsibility. This is being complicated by the fact that the Harbour Grace dump, where people can take this stuff, is closed for upgrades. So I don't know if anyone's heard any update on when it's gonna be reopened,
No, not a word.
but right now, that's not helping the situation.
So in saying that they're going around and telling people, so what are they, they're just taking it in, are they, or dispose it themselves, or?
Well,
so
yeah, they're telling them that they just make sure, first of all, that they know that the town isn't doing any more pickup,
Right,
and that you're gonna have to dispose of that yourself, and that if you're not aware, the Harbour Grace facility is an option, but it's closed. So until it's open, you're probably gonna have to move that stuff back in off the road. That's what
yep, no,
that was my understanding.
yep, no, that's good.
CEO, do you have?
Thank you, no, that's good, because there's a bunch of us
Good.
here that's been seeing it in different.
Oh, yeah,
locations.
we've all been seeing
I
it.
saw some new stuff today.
Yeah.
So it might not be a bad idea to put that on social media again too.
Yep, no, good, thank you.
All right,
The next is just the update from my fall meetings with CPWA. It was held in Deer Lake this year. And for those who don't know, the Public Works Association, we hold 2 meetings every year, and we try to alternate it between the east and west coast. So this year in Deer Lake was actually excellent. We had 2 tours. We did a tour of AIL, which is the facility that makes galvanized culverts. So they actually make culverts from 200 mils up to 2,700 mils. And to see it was pretty good, see it in Deer Lake, and to know that if something happens in another Igor, it's a simple call, and if you need culverts, it's on the island. Like they're not, when we had plastic ones, we had to wait for 3 weeks to get them shipped in. So that was excellent. We also seen their water treatment plant, their filter. They just upgraded a $1.5 million plant with filtration, so it was good. Something that would be, if we upgraded, it'd be similar to what we need. And then of course, it's just your regular talks. We talked some confined space entries, new types of fusible pipe and fitting, traffic signals and maintenance. A lot of towns, I've brought up, our light bulbs are always going out. And
He's working on
a
it.
lot of towns are doing it as well. These you see the crosswalk lights, red lights, green lights, and it's just nice to see we weren't the only ones. Talked about some emergency operation, road pavement markers. That's a new thing you're going to see. You see it in St. John's all the time. You know where they
This
dig
Kimmett Road is full of them.
yeah, you dig out the roads. Like in south, they're on top of the roads and you can run them over. But here, due to the weather, you have to mill out a section and.
I'd like to see them on 4 lanes.
Yeah, drove last night in the dark rain up Kenmount Road. They were quite useful.
Yeah, and
Team Gushie got them as well.
like I think you'll see that in the provincial highways. Like for us, with our little roads and Bay Water, the main road that we need, except 4-lane highway, would be deadly for them.
Yeah.
And there was also, we talked about like our work plans and stuff like that, and there were some neat apps that they use. Like Monday was one of them that was talked about a lot, and it's a great little tool. And the next one is just going to be held in Clarenville in May or April. So
One
Okay.
follow-up question, Director Elms. The culvert availability, is that in an emergency, or is that just a standard operating procedure if we need culvert, that it's being...
yeah, so I guess when all the minutes, like in where they were at CBS and St. John's, and like during Igor, there were some problems with culverts, I guess, and to know that it takes them, like I said, if they're set up to make the smaller culvert or whatever, they can roll out them culverts easily and need it, right? There's already a stash of culverts on the island, but in an emergency, if we have a rainstorm and municipalities are going for culverts left, right, and center, there's a facility on the island that
Construct.
right, and the smaller the are, the quicker
Right.
to
So it is in an emergency.
yeah, and oh yeah, they had lots and like they had a lot. You should see the stock they got there, and
And that's in CVS?
that's in Deer Lake.
Deer Lake.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know you drove by. It's crazy, bro.
Okay, thank you, Sean.
So the next one is I just wanted to do a little list of our year-end paving, what's left to do. So you can go through all the streets there. I got my staff go out and do up rough measurements. So most of my staff were close. So like I said, this could be give or take a couple of feet. But basically, if you go through all that, when you add it up, it's about 7,300 square feet of asphalt required. This is not including the development at Sod Lane. This is all our other water and sewer upgrades. And we have a standing offer for asphalt at $180 a ton. So roughly, if you look at this figure here, it's about 18,000, give or take, plus HST for the remaining asphalt to be completed.
Question.
Yeah.
Is the folks still paving now, or is it getting close to shut down?
He was hoping to be finished Friday, but he figures he'll still be paving the middle of next week.
Okay.
He was in Shearstown today, did some more driveways for the Shearstown Road project. And he's hoping that it's only rain tomorrow, and he's being able to come back first thing Thursday, because we've already started cutting and preparing these cuts.
So this is being actioned now this week? All
Yes,
this?
correct, yeah.
Okay.
So just another, so some of the stuff now that will, I'm just thinking about on the highway, up by Sod Road.
Yeah,
I know,
you'll see that down there at number 18.
Yeah, no, but-
Highway 12 by 9.
Yeah, and I was going to reach out the weekend, because I know my truck is fairly big, and I'm wondering about all these small little vehicles that's,
So-
it probably could be topped up.
Yeah, so what we started topping up on Monday, but Concord, when they prepare them, they knock all the stone out of it.
Yeah, I understand.
So it's not-
I understand. They need room for the, I understand, yeah.
So they're preparing it now.
Okay, Councillor Barry?
Yeah, Sean, the one on Neck Road, that's the one on the hill with the new house we put in this year, correct?
No, that one is already done. There should be Nick Road, that's the one down by I'm pretty sure that's the one down by the church, that dip. You know, the dip down. Yeah, there's number 11 there on Nick Road, that's down by.
Yeah, that's not one, which one it was?
No, that's down by the church there, that dip that goes there by St. George the Evangelist. Yes, sir.
Sean, I got to say, it's good to see that we're planning ahead and that we can see,
Yes, good
rather than
job.
wait for invoices to come in and wondering if we get enough money to pay for them.
Well, you see, we were looking at this today, talking about it, but hopefully what you see here now, in the spring of the year, I'll be bringing you this and have a better detailed estimate for each area, and then let you guys decide where we focus. You know what I mean? Like, instead of just saying, oh, that's a bad area, but
Okay.
something like this is what I envision of bringing you guys with a cost.
Councillor Franny?
Yeah, I guess on the cutouts, question I'm going to ask is not about these, is it could be possible to be able to do one. Do we still have a water leak at the intersection of Barney Road and one of the valves?
I'm glad you
Because
brought
the
that up.
pavement was dry today, but there's still a pool
Yes.
of water and the road is soaked.
I was over that
And I've been noticing them now for a few days.
Yeah,
There's
you're right.
definitely whatever, right on the intersection,
Okay.
Yeah.
there's definitely a valve still leaking.
This morning.
Yeah, and the pavement is dry. There's, I remember last couple times and it was coming
That
up
was
through
the
the
valve
foot
that
valve.
closed, so they have
There's,
to.
there's guaranteed a leak again
I'll check that.
right in
That's
the
that-
intersection.
That's that packing valve. So that's the
Yeah.
same thing sort of that happened on Greens Road Extension, and then you go. So we just basically have to dig down. And-
So now we're in the problem of not just, we
Yeah.
don't have the water supply issue where we want to be wasting water, but now we got a problem with water coming up and then freezing not necessarily creating.
So hopefully the guys, normally when they go, they just tweak, open and close a bit, and that'll jam the ceiling nut,
Okay, so
and it's good. So
make sure you get it checked out.
I'll
Next day you
check
get
that
it.
out first thing.
Now,
Sorry, you good?
yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Snow clearing lanes requests.
So we had these two different lanes from a group of residents. A lane off 387 Water Street and a lane off 5 South Road, Coley's Point. The lane off Water Street is approximately 5 meters wide and 90 meters long. The one in Coley's Point is about 4 meters wide and 70 meters long. So I got listed there what the conditions to transfer, conditions for which a non-conforming road will be transferred to the town. And these are the policies. So it's a minimum road allowance width of 9 meters will be required. The finished grade of the road should be uniform and have a Class A driving surface with adequate drainage to be inspected and approved by the director. They must have a minimum of 2 dwellings which are serviced from and have their frontage on said road. So a corner lot with frontage on an existing road does not constitute one of the dwellings. The road must have adequate space for town equipment and vehicles to access and turn around safely, once again to be inspected by the director. And if the town takes over a road based on the conditions above, the level of water and servicing will determine the following. If the road does not meet proper specifications for water and sewer, based on municipal affairs specifications, then it will be transferred under provision of municipal services only, but no future development will be permitted. If the road does have properly serviced water and sewer services installed, it will be transferred and future development will be permitted. So based on the policy, both requests don't meet the minimum width of a 9-meter road allowance, and they do not have, I drove up there, adequate space for town vehicles to turn safely. That being said, the residents may have a survey that shows otherwise. Till was a prime example. They submitted a survey and it gives us a 45-foot right away. So, you know, I would, you know, and my thing here, I would advise council that any work would be against the policy. However, there's nothing in the policy about snow clearing only, and therefore snow clearing could be discussed if you wanted to have that discussion here. Right? We just talked about transferring ownership over and us taking over the maintenance and everything, but there's nothing. Both these requests, they've sent them in before and were denied, but both of these requests ask for snow clearing only. Right? So that's, you know, once again, I wanted to let you guys see what you thought. But,
If you don't mind me asking, what's your professional opinion on snow? I went in one of them, not two of them, just the one, and I had a hard job getting turned around in my vehicle.
in your view, like you said, I feel, once again, feels bad about everything. I would deny it. Like you said, it's just not enough room.
Great.
Like you said, the snow clearing aspect would be your discussion, but once you get, to me, as I said, once you get into snow clearing, then maybe you start getting into maintenance of the road and all that stuff. You know what I mean? You know, one of the roads, maybe you go back, I would see if there's a survey of them. Because me driving down the road, I got my measuring tape out.
I like that too.
I measured 5 meters.
Right. That's when you guess.
You know, but like you said, that's near, the house is right here and there's a tree over here.
That's right.
Like we can't go, just because they might have that, but it's useless to us. You know what I mean? Like
I do.
the driving, even though I got 5 meters and 4 meters there, the driving surface was smaller than that.
Right.
So I'm being generous in that.
That's a long ways out too, because you're looking at regulation is 9 meters, and that's not even half, so
Yeah.
Right.
less it's bench.
But that's to take over road.
Yeah.
Yes, that, once again, yes.
That's
Councillor
two
Trainer.
different things.
Yeah.
So, I guess, I don't know if it was last term or the term before, some of the more recent, I'll call them non-conforming roads that we started to do some services on.
Yeah.
Let's say Cat Hill. What was the width of that one?
Cat Hill's a little bit different because Cat Hill was the first one. This was brought in before this non-conforming even came on.
Yeah.
If I'm correct.
So what?
Right, the first one is St. Mark's Lane, and St. Mark's was at 8.9. It averaged anywhere between 8.9 and 9.5 meters. That's that one along the brook there.
But I still argue that St. Mark's Road Lane, when I was young, was a road that was ploughed by the town. 100%. I remember being in St. Mark's, seeing the plough being done on. So anyway,
But
that
road,
What's that again, Dave?
I said I can remember being young in St. Mark's, seeing what was called St. Mark's Lane now being ploughed by the town loader. So that was always a road. So, but anyway, that's different. I was just trying to compare it with some of the smaller lanes in the last little while that we've agreed to do, like a streetwood place. And what we reduced snow clearing in a streetwood place. And what a streetwood place,
Streetwood Place is probably closer. I'd have to check off the top of my head.
right?
If you want me to follow up.
I'm just trying to, you know, like if the smart, like if our non-conforming is 9 meters to take over, that's fine. But if we've been around 7 meters or so, and that's the smallest we've got, yeah, like, and I agree, you gotta have a place for the equipment too. So, you know, I'd like to compare it with some of the other ones, but that's all. I just, you know,
trying to,
Have the people on these streets or roads ever indicated that they're willing to bring them up to the town standard for us to,
No.
No.
so they're not looking to try to do that?
No,
Well,
but-
yeah, and in the past, like
Yeah.
the director said, it was always about us taking over the road.
Yeah.
Councillor Barry?
Yeah, my opinion, and I've looked at the two of them, excuse me, one at Coley's Point, I think that'd be a problem. Again, it's only snow clearing only. The one in Bear Roberts with our ton truck, we can easily get away with that. According to some of the smaller roads that we're doing, they're definitely not conforming, they're no bigger than goat pets. Then we could get away with that one, that they're just the snow clearing. That's my 2 cents worth.
I guess, okay, so I guess the question is, if you want to look at it in terms of not taking over but providing the snow clearing services, the question, I guess, that's got to be asked is, can machinery turn around and get back out of there?
So for that,
Like,
if you want to defer it, I can get our guys to drive. If you know,
I think that-
right, I can get our guys, when you get a chance, take the Dodge.
I like that, that's a good idea.
Listen, to go down the lane and how hard is it for you to get around?
I'm willing to give it a fair shot,
Right, like,
but we gotta have the information to do that.
yeah, right,
if, you
like,
ca- if the
But
ve-
what,
if the smallest vehicle you got can't find a place to turn around and get out of it,
Yeah.
then you can't do it.
Plus you've got a councillor there that went in there in a truck, that couldn't get had a job turn
That's
around.
my
I had
point,
that
so
turnaround.
if you
The other thing
want
is, when you're doing road maintenance in the summer, typically you're gonna do your road maintenance and it's just road gravel or whatever. When you're dealing with snow, and Councillor Baring would know because he does it a fair bit, every time you got a storm and you plow, you're making the road even narrower because you're
Yeah,
building
Right.
up snow.
100% right.
So you're talking about a road that's less than half of 9 meters. One is at 40% and one is a little bit more than 50.
Is there anything on these roads, if they're not, let's say, up to the width of a standard road that we are plowing, that we damage, that we are responsible
You're
for?
reading my mind, that's exactly, yeah.
I mean, if we got to a point in decision that we would do it, I think there has to be something with regards to what damage we'd cause, we wouldn't be responsible for
100%.
due to the narrowness of the road.
100%.
boat roads there's one lane, as Mr. Council Boring said, the lane down on Water Street is easiest because it's a straight road and the plow goes straight in, push it all. There is one house that's pretty close to the road that could be, and over in Coley's Point, as Councillor Bagcott mentioned, there's a couple of like it's intertwining. So when you're going through, if you know, it's a little bit harder. The Water Street one is a little bit easier, but like you said, there is a close house close to the lane, the driving surface.
well, we got lots of houses close to the road, even with the big plows in the truck.
You're at 100%.
We got one on Water Street, and you hear, if the boys was anxious, they put it up there.
Yeah, but I would say we don't need to add more.
No. Well, I'm with the Deputy Mayor as
There's
well.
one on Country Road that been doing it for years, we're still doing it, side by side with a plow, we'll have all we can do to get up there.
Yeah, that's Kennedy's Lane.
Just up that hill there.
That's just past
Supermarket.
supermarket, correct.
But I'd want to make sure
No,
that we're not repairing the
I
property.
didn't think we
Not
plowed
taking
that.
any
We do.
responsibility.
Okay,
And John, sorry.
we'll leave it at rounds to just take the smallest machinery, see what the situation is, come back, let us know, and then we'll make a decision.
Okay.
A couple more items there, isn't
Yeah, 2 more.
Well, the next one, so I've been dealing with the mall, and they need to do some upgrading with the water lines inside. So our guys went up and shut the valve off that's in the middle of the parking lot, and the water only shut off the 3/4, the old part, I'll call it the old part of the building. The new part never lost any water. Or vice versa, I can't remember which one. So anyway, so we basically looked around and we tried to locate a valve. I've looked through drawings and stuff. We have not been able to find a valve yet, or another valve that shuts off everything over there. So while we're waiting, they do need to get the repairs. So the only option right now, to me, would be to shut. The
Greater
original valve in the drawing was the valve on George Mercer Drive that we use now, because there was no water line on Coley's Point or George Mercer Drive. That valve was there, and then the water line came up, and then there was a T, and it went to the mall. So that was one of the valves that controlled it, and then the valve on the mall parking lot. Since that time, the water line got put in George Mercer Drive and extended, and then there was an extension done. And I think it was at that time that when the extension to the new mall property, I don't know where that water line is tied in. I think it's before the valve, and in order to shut the water off, we'll have to shut the valve off in George Mercer intersection and Side Lane. In order to do that, you're going to shut, there'll be about 7 residents without water. And it's probably a 4-hour job for the guys to get in. The superintendent and lady said that they had a schedule to do it in the night time to do the work. And now, like I said, they don't want to do it during the day because of all the business and Christmas time. So like I said, I think there's basically 3 options for council to consider. And that's turn the water off during the day, which I don't think is why would you do? I think it's not a good idea. Turn the water off during the night. The mall would have to be charged. It would be charged because it's an overtime for our guys to go out and turn the valve off on both streets. Superintendent is paying this fee, and the other one is tell them all that they need to install a valve to the property that shuts off the building. The issue I got with that is that was done in the late 80s, and I'm not sure what correspondence was ever done, because the water line in Coley's Point wasn't installed until '99. So these valves and all this work was done in the 80s. What was said, what was done. To me, that's what needs to be done. There do need to be a valve there. There may be a valve there, but based on the drawings, we have not, our metal detectors, we've been up metal detect and can't find no valves. And like I said, we're stumped.
So did you talk to them about putting their own circuit board valve in? Is that a discussion? Or?
Well, I did mention they need to, for them to put their own valve in, we'd have to shut the water down during the daytime anyway, right?
So that building or that mall has one intake. We've turned off one line to it.
Yeah.
But somewhere there's another
There's
line
still
going into that.
There's still water getting in, yeah.
So you don't know where that line is at all?
No. And when you go there, they also tied off that line, so the car wash is on a separate line as well, right? Because there's an 8-inch water line going into that mall, right?
So they would know where the line is in the mall coming in.
Yeah.
No, that's what I was trying to.
Yeah. No. They know where.
But we don't know. So we don't know outside the mall.
In the ground.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't, like I said, when we turn that valve off, it shuts down, like I said, half the mile or 3/4.
So where's the water come in that can't be shut off?
See, they only know one place where the water comes in. That's it.
So there's water coming in the building, they don't know where it's coming in. That don't make sense.
Right?
I gotta say. What you're telling me is that if this is the mall, this is the water line, we shuts it off, all this comes in here.
Yeah.
If these sections of pipes here still got water,
Yeah.
all them pipes eventually feeds back to one pipe.
Yeah.
That one pipe got water coming to it somewhere in the mall.
You gotta be reducing valves.
I agree. I was talking to a local
So-
contractor, a plumber and stuff, because they were called to see if they could do some work. And he basically said the same thing, like, if we dig down here, we can dig down and find it, but he said he's still not sure that would shut off all the water.
But prior to entering the building, yes, we're turning off one valve, it's one line.
Yeah.
If we're within several feet of that building, that other line that we don't know where it's to, still has to tap into this one line coming into the building. That's what you're sort of driving.
That's what I'm saying. Somewhere in the building,
Yeah.
the lines that are still being fed with water, they're being fed, hopefully, with one
Oh, yes.
point.
Yeah.
So there has to be a place in the mall,
Gotta be
somewhere,
solid.
like every pipe is
Yeah.
gonna lead back to a bigger pipe, to a bigger pipe, to a
Yeah.
bigger pipe.
You would
Eventually,
think
we're gonna
yeah,
find
you
a pipe where the water's coming from.
Yeah.
So there has to be a spot.
I'll
You would think
double
that'll be shut
Yeah.
off somewhere in the mall.
Somewhere, either
No.
just outside of that mall or just inside of it somewhere, there has to be a spot to be able to shut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, once again, we don't know. I anticipate that they ran a new service line from the line straight across the parking lot into the new building. So they may,
So
listen,
it's
they may know where it's to, but you still got to.
Well, in this, sir, my thought
Yeah,
is I'm okay with this one time. The residents got to know, and they got to be in agreement. Shut it off in the night time. Boys, you got to find out where your water's coming in and get a valve on it, because we got to be able to shut off water that building if need be.
100%.
That's part of the deal.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Yeah, no, that's where I was leading was,
Yeah.
it's gotta be late at night. Hopefully
Yeah.
we'd be able to personally talk to all the residents there, and talk to them and try
It's
to.
a must, not hopefully,
But,
it's a must.
well, yes, we'll talk to everyone, but, and see what they're like, cause if they say, you know what, I'd rather you turn the water off at 11, whether we turn it off 10:30, 11 or 11:30, I'd rather try to appease the residents somewhat, you know what I mean, like,
Yeah.
cause if they're sleeping and the water's off is not,
Yeah.
not. a
John,
good
do we
deal.
have a snow clearing crew come in 4 AM in the winter?
Yes,
So couldn't, if it was a night that they didn't need to do anything, could they
yeah,
arrange to do it then?
they can,
They
We'd
turn
still,
it off.
we'd still charge, by the way.
They
Yeah.
could probably turn it on.
Yeah.
You still need someone to come in the night time for
Yeah.
turn it off.
Yeah.
yeah, turn it off at 4 AM.
If it's only 2 or 3 hours, is it?
They, once they claim 2 to 3, 4 hours, and then they said, but the superintendent was told by the contractors, but you don't know if there's anything gonna happen.
And you're suggesting turn it off at 4 AM.
Yeah, but based on that, you don't wanna have your water turned off if people are getting up and go to work,
You're
so.
right.
Right,
If
You're
you did
in a little
it,
problem.
if you did it at 11 or midnight, and then the group coming in at 4 can turn it off.
yeah, so you'd only be
Yeah.
paying the one, I would still.
No,
charge for
we'd
both.
probably charge them twice, but,
I would.
We'd have to, because you don't know anything of that.
Yeah.
But we would have a crew in at that time if we did it, right?
Okay.
Once again, I have no dates, they wanted to find out where council's head was at, and if that was plausible.
I'm with Councillor Franny, like, we can find a way to get this done, but they're going to have to either find out where this water line is or put their own valve in that, in spring maybe when,
Well, either way, a valve got to run.
yeah.
I agree.
Okay,
Too many unknowns there now, right?
okay, Director Elms, you have one more there,
I'll take this one.
okay?
Just
Well,
because,
I think before you continue on, the water line, there's 2 gone into the mall, there's 1 gone up straight by the pipeline, and there's 1 gone in by where our, fire hydrant is still on the back.
Yeah.
So there's 2 feeds gone in. Carry on.
Yeah, no.
So where would the
This
shut
is
off?
The back one where the fire hydrant is?
Yeah, would there be a shut off on that one, Perry?
That's the old part, isn't it?
Where, on the back where the fire hydrant is, Perry, do you know if there's a shut off
There should
valve?
be, yeah, there should be a shut off running through, because they also took the feed off and went over to the school.
Yeah, so that might be the one you missed, John, or is that the one you got?
That's the one, I'm pretty sure that's the one the boys got was the hydrant, they shut
Alright.
that off. but
So it's probably the one.
The one in front, I think, Perry, you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's the one you need to find.
Go by the pipeline and goes to the,
Up by George Mercer's house there, we're along.
yeah, I think the boys had that one, they never had the other one.
Oh, well, you might get it now then.
Yeah, like I said, this is hopefully find a valve and we won't have to do nothing, but.
Yeah.
Okay, CL,
yeah, so we got a request from a resident wondering if the town would confirm if they would be responsible for any issues or problems with an easement that is basically going from a stub on Earls Road in through a couple of properties. We have actually one of our staff lived there, and go up to the hill. So this was before my time, and I think the residents are in the process of a sale, and I'm sure that's probably one of the conditions that could potentially hold up the sale. My first instinct is, why would we ever put an easement up there and take full responsibility of? But I guess it was. So the easement is actually going up there from Earls Road to Tilts Hill. What they are requesting from me is for us to write them a letter to say that the town will take 100% responsibility for any repairs, damage, or anything if it got to be dug up. So if it got to be dug up, we got to pay to dig it up, we got to pay to remediate it and put it back as is. So you'd have to tear pavement, people's lawn, and go up through.
But we didn't put it in.
I'm not 100% sure,
No, we didn't put it in.
No, I didn't.
okay?
That's been on council's
I feel-
before, since I've been here.
I
Okay.
think,
So here,
I think this predates even me on council when that was first done, wasn't it? Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. That line that he's referring to, that even predates me.
so
Councillor, you're here a while now.
So, yeah,
You do, yeah, exactly. That's been.
it goes back to, it's like putting water and sewer to the moon, where they put that up.
Yeah.
For the moon.
So basically, I didn't want to put the town in the position,
Put one house up and then probably 7 or 8 on that.
Another one after, another one after, another one after.
I didn't want to put the town in a position that I would sign saying that we take full responsibility, because I'm going to tell you now, if you had to tear it up, you'd be in a minimum of $50,000. But however, I did say to the resident that if you got the document, and you got the document that the town signed off on this easement agreement, taking full responsibility,
Yeah,
I'd have no choice but to do it.
oh, yeah.
And we wouldn't. But I cannot for the life of me find any written document that says that the town would take responsibility.
Right.
So I'm dealing with their lawyer. I've actually called a lawyer that did a draft easement agreement, actually. So there was a draft easement agreement done, okay? So there was so technically there's 2 easement agreements. So naturally you got to go with step 1 and 2. So step 1 would be for the owners of the property, right, to get permission from the people that they want to run the easement on, giving them that responsibility or ownership of the easement. So they would have to get the signatures from all those people that own property from the stub to the top of the hill to agree that we could do it, that they could do it. They got that done. It's done, it's deeded, it's documented, lawyers got it, it's all done and signed off and initialed. Which would be, I'm assuming, if I was the town CEO at the time, I'd say, well, that's the first thing you got to do. When you get that, come to the town and see will the town consider take the responsibility for the easement,
Yeah.
okay? Back at, I got it in my office in a file, there was a draft easement agreement reviewed by council that they didn't seem to have an issue with. Now, we all know a draft is a draft. It could change 50 times, it could not exist, it may never happen, but that's why they call it a draft. So I could find in the minutes that it was a draft proposed to council, and it didn't seem to have an issue, and the draft basically said that the town would take full responsibility of it if it was tore up, he'd eat it back. But we can't find any signed documents, lawyers can't find signed documents, no one can find signed documents, and as a result, I refused to sign it and put the town in that situation unless I got some type of document. So whether it was signed and it got misplaced, or whether it was proposed and never came to fruition, I don't know. The bottom line is, we don't have no documentation signed. The resident, they've been excellent to deal with, by the way, absolutely superb. We're trying to work together on it. They don't have no signed documents either.
Right.
And we don't have signed documents.
So the only thing that exists is the easement on paper, where everyone signed off and said it was okay.
For
Property owners.
For the property owners to,
There's a draft agreement with the town.
yep.
We can't seem to find anything official written down. And this predates everyone there. This is another one of these developments that comes back to haunt councils down the road. The mess of development then was approved by council, tied into that line. So people have built homes, gotten mortgages, and now they're in a situation where, okay, I'm moving on, I want to sell the house. And this is,
They're back in the corner.
and it's not their fault.
No.
And I didn't say that we weren't, like, it was before us, whatever, like, to absolve us of it.
No, I
We
mean,
just
you're
don't
right.
have first-hand knowledge of what
Yep.
was done back then. So no one can say, yes, this is what was done.
Oh,
We weren't there to
absolutely.
see that being done.
Either way, you're sitting in the chair now, you gotta deal with it.
Exactly. No, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, none of us can speak to it and say, this is what we did.
And maybe we'll find documentation, but in lieu that we don't, I mean, they're asking for this council here to take on 100% if there was an issue, to reconstruct, whether it's somebody's lawn, driveway, fence, whatever else.
But you know we approved this. Whether you find a piece of paper or not. That could not happen unless the town approved it.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
How long is
Town
the
approved
line?
it.
You're right.
How long is this line? Because eventually it gets to the point where it's on.
It's a nightmare.
Is there a possibility of adjacent to this property of just putting up, if in lieu of some kind of an issue, of a line somehow adjacent to it all, without tearing up stuff?
So,
Sean, so go ahead, Frank.
a couple of years ago, I guess we had the same discussion because we were talking about paving this, right? And we said before we paved it, we wanted to get the proper water line put up through and the proper sewer line. We offered the contractor, which is probably a relative, the material, and they supplied the labor. And we end up, in the end, paving it all over and nothing got done.
And with the caveat that there'd be no more development
Yeah.
until the proper infrastructure was put in. And that's one of the roads, I think, Director Elms, that we potentially said we're gonna look at.
Yeah, so I've applied for that in the past. That's off of Badcock Road in north side of Shearstown. Badcock Road needs upgraded water and sewer, so what, in my applications, I've included Tilt Hill's water and sewer as well at the same time to go and get both of those. But the water, as the CEO said, the service line, well before my time too, but I've dealt with it enough. We dropped the stub at Earl's Road Extension and then through, not through any driveways, it's all through, I call it barren grass, up through a hill. And that serviced one house, but then
And then we allowed a dozen houses to be built onto it after.
And then there was a lot more houses. One of the houses actually is on a well and septic because they wouldn't give them access. I don't know if they did after, but there's all kinds of caveats as was
But
worse.
that's the most recent one.
Yeah, and, but yeah, no, it goes up through the ground and, like I said, normally we just drop a service line down and the service, just the issue, services one house. But they put a service line in now and they've serviced 7 or 8, 9 houses.
With town's permission.
Right.
You're not interrupting any driveways or lawns or anything like that for this line, 2 lawns across the road?
No.
Just the road.
Yeah.
Well-
I shouldn't say just the road.
Gone right in Earl's Road, is it?
Oh,
I was understanding it's gone up across people's land.
Well, I don't know.
People's land, but it's not developed land.
No,
Meadow
so
or road?
I apologise because I totally misunderstood it. Because the map that I saw, it was going up next to the first house there, one of our employees.
Yeah.
That's paved driveway.
Yeah.
And then it goes up and turns right.
Yeah.
And goes up on the right-hand side of the house behind our employee, in his driveway and his grass,
Yeah.
and then goes up a hill.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how it wouldn't affect us financially if we had to dig it up. We're digging up pavement, we're digging up someone's driveway,
Yeah.
we're digging up someone's side, and then the labour to do it, and then you got to go up the hill on top of that.
The big,
And I apologise to everyone if I misinterpret that. I thought that's.
no, so Earl's Road, you're spot on because Earl's Road is asphalt and the line is under that or whatever, right? So,
But even if it's not Earl's Road,
yeah. But there is asphalt.
if it's outside the resident's property,
and
we're-
road, yes. And it
I thought it was going in
Plus-
the driveway, turning right, going in another driveway, going up behind the second house, and then going up a hill.
Yeah.
So
Is
that's the
that,
driveway.
am I reading that right or wrong?
Well, there's,
You're reading right.
yeah. But
Okay.
in there is awkward because when we go into snow clear, like when I go in.
Because, look, you know,
It's just one.
all I can tell you this, I cannot sign it unless I'm authorised by a motion of council to sign it.
Yeah.
I think it'll cost the town $50,000 to $100,000, $50,000 minimum if you want to sign it, and you're going to sign it on something that's verbally, which I'm totally opposed to. And you're more than welcome to vote for it.
The best thing for somebody to do is go in and stand up and actually look at where it's gone up first.
Yeah,
You'll have a different opinion about it. You'll have the same opinion.
can you clarify?
yeah.
Say that again?
I'll have,
If you see where the actual water line is,
Still, and you'll have the same opinion, only probably you're gonna add to it.
So, yeah, so better to see it.
Yes, very much so.
so you do,
Only add to
do
the
you
cost.
agree with my interpretation of where the line is going up through?
100%.
Okay, thank you.
You're gonna add to what you're saying.
And
Yeah, you're gonna be
how,
convinced even more so by going out and visiting the site.
do we actually know where the water line is through that snake's belly up through that hill?
I think that's all there, yeah. And I've even went as far to help the residents in the sense that when this was done and the draft was presented to council, it was presented by a law firm in Carbonear. And I even call the law firm at our expense to say, look, we don't need no big amount of money spent on this, but if you can find me the signed document so we can help these residents out, because that's the only way I feel we could. And I spoke to the owner of the law firm, and they were checking on it, and that was 2 weeks ago, and I didn't hear back. And I even as much as went that far with it, to say, look,
To help them out.
they're the one that faxed it to the town, here's the easement on behalf of the resident. I even called that law firm to see if they had it, and I haven't heard back, so I could follow up.
So I take it this resident must have built this house, did he? He's the first owner?
I think so.
Because if he sold it before, he would have went through.
No, I used to build her.
Yeah, okay.
And he's got a new house built on the same street, I think.
He does.
It's a tangly subject, that's for sure, because I see CAO's point that this should have been documented, but of course, and it very well might have been, and just misplaced, we don't know. What we do know is that if we take responsibility now, of course, something's going to have to be a motion to council to approve it. If something happens, it could get expensive, we agree. It is a road that's targeted to be done, and then all that would be obsolete anyway, correct?
Yeah.
So we can try back to lawyers, see if they found anything.
Ultimately, we're not in the spot to sign anything at this point.
No, that's right.
And the other side of that is, if we say we're not going to sign it, then we've allowed all that development to go on, and people have bought and built homes, and now you're going to say you're not going to do nothing for them, even though not their fault.
They
Anyway,
got building
interesting
permits. I
times.
assume they got building permits.
Yes, of
Well,
course.
that's right.
And the town knew full well what they were hooking onto. So anyway, okay, so see how you're going to look up that again and see what you can find out.
Yep.
Okay. So that takes Sean off the hot seat.
You got your action list yet, Sean?
Can I go?
You and Councillor Baring have did a wonderful job on your action list, so.
Okay, so other items now. Joint council from Thursday, November 2025. I thought this was going to be at the regular council meeting.
Well, we can.
We can, yeah.
Yeah. That's, yeah, no, that's fine, but it's okay, because we could probably just tell everyone a little bit.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
sure, go ahead.
No, but, yeah, so,
In future, we'll just put these on the regular meeting. Sure.
yeah, so we had a meeting on Thursday, November 13th, at the council chambers in Harbour Grace. There was probably one of the biggest turnouts that I've seen in my terms going to joint council meetings. There's probably 20 or so folks there. So cut right to the nuts and bolts of it for your information, really. Mr. His Worship, is going to step up for the interim chair. We didn't get a chair, so he's going to step up until there's a chair decided. Interim, yeah, that's the word. What did I say? What did I say? Yeah, interim. That's right. So yeah, Sam was nominated, and so was Silas. They both declined. And our co-chair now again is Maggie Snow, treasurer Debbie Newman. These are all accepted, and secretary Christina Hearn. The next meeting will be here on December 10th. So if anyone is available and free, we'd love to have a full turnout of our council for support. So that's December 10th at 7 p.m. right here.
And
Yep, go ahead.
if I can add to it, during that meeting, the big agenda item was the Community Safety Plan, partnership with the Department of Justice,
Yes,
that Communities Against Violence is spearheading for Joint Council. So they came in, gave us an update on that. So that project is moving along very quickly. They're gathering information, and hopefully, I think in the notes there it says project hopefully to complete by August. But
Great.
there's some busy times coming in, and they're going to be reaching out to the towns to gather information. Other than that, like Silas or Councillor Beckock said, next meeting is December 10th here. And at that one, we've got coming in Eastern Health representatives giving an update on that mobile
Mobile.
mental health unit that
right.
Joint Council lobbied for, that's operating at the Carbon Hospital.
Yep.
Which from what I hear is
Good, nice to
doing
get it.
great things to take pressure off the RCMP. So we're going to get a full brief on it that night. So certainly something worth listening to. All right, Councillor Deering.
Okay, it's been brought to my attention by residents and also from talking to other municipalities across the island at some events I've been at. That they got a drop-off for leaves only that they use for compost. The residents have somewhere to drop their leaves off 7 days a week if they want to. I've noticed residents here, I've saw residents throw leaves in the harbour really close to here because they don't have nowhere to put them. And we're only open Saturdays, or only open Fridays.
I don't even think we're open Fridays now.
No, and most people that got leaves are cleaning them up through the week and they can't wait for Fridays, or they're not around Fridays, or they're cleaning them up on the weekends and wants to get rid of them at the time. So I think we should have a site somewhere that we can back in, drop off the leaves, and it could be used for compost for our gardens or whatever, or for residents for their gardens.
So are they taking it out of the bags as such themselves, or are they just throwing
Yes.
bags and all there?
Carboneer got one, and Harbour Grace got one, that they just drop off their leaves and then they come in with the front end loader or whatever and compost it all together and use it. So I just want to put it in there, have a discussion on. And
Do we have a site for something like that, Director Holmes, do you know?
I guess we have a couple of potentials. We
Well,
have some land.
Certainly, it's not something you're going to decide here tonight, but it's something you can, it's an avenue you can look at and pursue.
So I just typed into Google residential leaf drop off Newfoundland just to see what other towns might have. St. John's is the very first one that pops up, and maybe because of location services. The very next one is Bay Roberts. So if you Google that in Newfoundland, and if you looked it up as a resident, it's going to say the town of Bay Roberts offers a specific drop off location seasonally for leaves, grass clippings, and branches. Location, the pit, hours. Site's operating hours are seasonal, typically May through November, and usually open on Fridays and some Saturdays. So we do say
We do promote it.
that we do it.
but we don't, because
So-
and I know myself, because we have a lot of leaves up around our place, and I'm after taking about, I'm going to say 5 or 6 trailer loads down to drop them off when I get down there on Friday. And I got one trailer load up there now, and I have a tarp on, and he's loaded up like this. And I've been 3 weeks trying to get it down to the pit because it's only Friday you could get it down. Now I got to push it down the backyard and leave it covered up all winter because I got nowhere to get it.
Carbonated.
Unless, if I wanted to, I could take it and go in and drop it off in one pit of country road.
They have a leaf
Like most
compost
people
to
are
drop
going to,
off.
Yes.
And the requirements are, if it's in a plastic bag, you gotta dump them out, and you don't have to do nothing if it's in paper. So they do have a residential composting unit.
Starting there.
I actually seen a
I
resident,
think we talked about.
I seen a resident burn them too, not in our town, but in Portagrave
I think
actually.
what I'd suggest, if you're okay, that I'll meet with Director Delaney and Director Russell and do some background check on Harbour Grace Carboneer, and I think that's something that they would potentially be responsible for, more so than Sean. Because I think you need, to your point, councillor, if we're going to do it, I think we need to have a spot that's available. And that there's a plan of attack in place. It's just dropping it at the pit and having the pit open all the time and everyone dumping everything else with it. Probably be some of the problems that I think we've had before. So is it something that you want to try to implement now during this season or just moving forward?
Moving forward,
Okay.
yeah.
I've been saying
Well, I
for
think
years.
it's too late now.
I think- I
No
think
one's
it-
gonna break the leaves now.
No,
This is all
I think it
done.
helps with another issue though too. We talked about it here with the rodents and so on. And some people in lieu of this will start composting. But you know the issue with backyard composting. It just becomes a smorgasbord for rodents.
100%.
But if we could actually do it in the town in some spot, this could be the impetus for it. We might get, might preemptively keep backyard composting. Because I gotta say, backyard composting leads to a big issue versus a town site.
So
Okay.
what we'll do, if it's okay with council, we'll add it to the action list for our two directors. And I'll meet with them tomorrow to get the ball rolling.
Okay, so before we move off from this, so our current pit service,
Yeah, it is closed at the end of November.
so it's done for the year.
Now, we can, if you wanted to put it, I can put out a notice, we can open up the pit on Friday and say, listen, last Friday, the leaves are this Friday. Totally up to council, but normally it's made the end of November is how we've always done it in the past.
So it's not, it doesn't accommodate working class.
Most, I don't think.
Doesn't at all.
I don't
because
think the
it's
issue.
closed 4:30. Most work class people don't hold them 4:30, 5 o'clock.
That's always been my argument. The issue is not closing the end of November. Everyone I looked up, whether it's CBS, St. John's, whatever, they do it up until the end of November. Once you're into December, if you haven't got your leaves looked after, that's on you. The problem is, my issue has been for the last few years with the pit, is that I don't get home until 6 o'clock in the evening, I work 5 days a week. I can't use the pit if I gotta drop something off. Most people can't, like Frank said.
So if I don't, as CEO just mentioned, if the other departments, their staff currently works 7 days a week, I believe, well, my staff right now.
Sandy works 5 days a week and they're all getting laid off in 2 weeks, so I don't know how much they'll be able to help.
We're beyond leaf season now.
For summer.
Yeah, but I think we need to do what Frank said, we just need to plan it, do it right.
Next year.
And make sure that we got the proper place for it, like I'm sure Ryan loves it, that stuff. So, we can see how that go, and I'm with you, I don't think the pit is the place for any of it, to be honest with you.
Okay,
Because-
so,
It has a
you
small
move
number
on,
It's done.
further to my question, it's closed.
Well, yeah.
All right, action list. Is yours, sir?
My name is there, yeah, but, Your Worship, I think you could go through the list, but I certainly want to commend our directors and council for taking this big list and, after the night, hopefully it's cut in half or more. And a lot of it we could have just removed, but we felt that before we remove them, we think we go through them with you guys, so you're okay with the remove.
Okay, we'll run through them. By my count, there's 26, and there's 14 there that are able to be removed, and that's quite an achievement. So town planner, contract has been awarded. We all okay with removing that one?
Yeah.
Okay. 87A Belleville Road, removed. Work has been completed. Director Elms, which one is
That's
that?
Brooke, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr.
Okay,
Power,
yeah, that's done. That can go. 238 Shearstone Road, again, that's
The
the
dredging. of the
dredging,
water
yeah.
right,
So that's done, good. Long Beach access, remain on the list.
Yeah, that gotta stay.
I can speak to that one.
Go ahead, sir.
So Ron is moving with that one. They needed a GPS coordinates for the actual area, which I got through one of the boys in our group when I was the GPS. We needed 2 people to sign off, 2 older people saying it was always there. Affidavits. That's all done. It's in Ron's hands. I think he got a place in town where they got to do that, advertise and move on from there.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a note at the very bottom. You scroll right to the page 4. He's just waiting for Crown Lands to come
Okay.
back now.
Okay. 3739 Water Street, this was done during phase 2. That's that drum,
That
is
little
it?
stream that comes
Okay,
down
all
there.
right. Number 6, Conception Bay Highway. I have no idea what this is. It says remove. Director of Public Public Safety and Planner has this?
Yeah, basically that's, someone put a request in to have the land rezoned.
Okay,
So all of those applications,
Go to the
requests
planner.
have gone to the planner and
Okay.
to director. So-
Okay. And 7 is another one, land review request. That's also gone, okay.
Right.
Speed bumps,
Keep it there.
types and locations, that's remaining. That's gonna be part of our
Yeah.
paving budget for this coming year, I think, correct? Goose Pond Trail, work is completed, removed.
That was
Okay.
the paving for
That was
the
the bridge.
accessibility.
Right.
Country Road, flashing lights should be removed and considered during budget
I
2027.
think that's for a crosswalk.
Crosswalk by
Yeah.
the retirement centre.
So do we remove it or leave it there for budget 2027?
Say leave it there.
You leave it there.
Leave it.
Okay.
There's a reminder.
Yeah.
Business Park remain on the list, yep.
Yeah.
88 Water Street, that's ongoing, that's gotta stay.
Yep.
740, 742 Water Street. Director contact property owner to advise me that he would
That,
have to cover
That was
sewer.
that property
that was
you
the
wanted
root
to.
cellar. You remember
the
it was
root
the
cellar?
root-
Yes, so it's removed?
So, yeah, we can remove, because the director did reach out to that property owner, the one requesting the property, and told him that the cost would have to be absorbed by him.
Yeah.
So he hasn't responded to that.
Okay, remove. 172 Water Street, I have no idea, work has been completed, so
That's the corner of
Up there,
Okay.
that's corner of.
on Water Street.
Memberstein Crosswork. Moore and Spring and Council wishes, so
Yeah,
should we leave it
Leave it as a reminder.
as a reminder, or do we remove it?
I think we should leave it.
Leave it, okay. 20 Reeds Road, survey concern, remove. Director made a site and town does not use, plow or any infrastructure on this land,
Yeah.
okay? Remove it?
Yeah.
Bishop's Road, work has been completed, remove, okay? 242 and, 1819, well, the same remains, so we'll leave it. 387A Water Street, remove, recommendation on the agenda for committee of the whole.
No, that's
so
what we're
that's
still
the
discussing.
same, so that should be removed
That was
and
like a bulb.
26 would stay. So if you look at number 20 and number 26, they're both the
So
same.
remove this one.
So,
Remove 20, keep 26.
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah, yeah.
New Road Hill, North Side intersection, we're gonna look at that. Barrett's Primary, that's got to stay. 245 Shearston Road, neighbor and flooding concerns.
So that's,
Across the road from No Meat Market.
yeah.
Oh,
that's-
yes,
That's
yes.
the old meat market.
So do you have any update, because I know Greg was working on that, or?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Which one you talking about?
we're talking about the meat market property there now, Perry.
Yeah, well, you go ahead, Sean, I'll jump in.
You jump in. So myself and Greg met with the owner of the meat, I call it the meat market. He claims that there was or he said there was no ditch, or that he wasn't aware of any ditches on the property. Since then, I got a survey from the neighbour of people that it used to be originally owned by one family. Of course, it got separated to all these different. So I got a survey that do show a ditch on the property and no ditch on her property. And they sent the excavator, when the excavator dug the ditches. The previous owner did say that the culverts that were used were, what do you call it, hot water tanks that were welded together. They weren't really culverts, but it was a ditch to a catch basin that was, what type of, what was it again, Perry? The
Oh, Grayson. Oh.
creosote open, right? So there was a ditch there. Since he did it, the ditch is blocked. It's going down through the catch basin, as we've said before, but it's going away. Where it's going to, we don't know. His argument was that it's acting like a French drain and it's good that the water's gone somewhere and we don't know where it's going. My argument, or my thing, and same with Council Goring, is if we don't know where the water is going, at some point it may come back to bite us. You know what I mean? There was a flooding concern across the road at one point. So is that water going into that neighboring property, or is it going out to the stream? One thing I know me and Council Boring talked about was getting some dye, the dye you put in sewer when you're looking for sewer leaks and stuff. And on a rainy day, like I said,
Right.
it is a budget item, so like I said, right now there's no money in the budget to do this. Or I can check the price and come back to you. But ideally, we put the dye down in that ditch
See where it
and
shows up.
see where it shows up if it's across the property somewhere. I still feel that the owner should dig all that up and expose it all, because the water, if you walk from the culvert, there's a culvert in the back of the property, covered, and all of a sudden water's just coming up through the rocks in the middle of the property. That used to flood out the neighbouring property. And since then, you got a little berm, but water don't just come out of the ground for nothing. It's because it was blocked with the contractor that had done it. The lady that sent the email did confirm that she'd never had flooding or water issues until Buddy broke that issue when he put the driveway. Because when he bought the property, the paved area on, I'd say, the westerly side is not his driveway. He owns 4 feet. So he had to put a new driveway in on the eastern side, and that's why he broke the culvert. I still think that it's on him to do something, but the ditch should be open. I think we need to find out where the water's going. Like I said, Greg was there, I don't know. He was supposed to start doing some work. You haven't done much there. You do have a ditch that the water's flowing into the catch basin, so there was no water flowing over the neighboring property. But if you get if you get a snowstorm, 30 centimeters, and then a heavy rain, and they flood, you know what I mean? There's some issues there, and I just, we told him to do some work, and he was doing some stuff, but it's all sort of stalled in there now. Did I cover everything, Mr. Boring?
Yeah, well, the ditch, I don't know if Dean remembers, or Jeff didn't remember some, but come down by the meat shop there, they had a self-made culvert, but like Sean said, he took all that up, flattened all that, covered it in. That's when the neighboring property, the son that lived there, not now, but you both know what I'm talking about, that driveway flooded, which flooded at people's basements down the crossroad on the opposite side. This came to council about a year and a half, 2 years ago. We since put a ditch out front to take the water coming off the neighbor's property, to put it into a ditch and culverts that we already got going across the road out by a certain individual, and all our guys, you fellows know, that puts it right up the river. We've asked him through a letter, dropped off, to clean up their course and reinstate the ditch. He's only reinstated with a shovel. But there's water still dribbling, and like Sean said, it's going down about halfway through the property in this makeshift grate. It's not going out into our infrastructure, which will take it to the river. So where's the water going? Are we all of a sudden going to see our road is going to be undermined, or someone's going to be flooded? Because we have no idea where water's going.
So if I'm hearing...
He should be made to dig up the rest of it there now, and he's putting us off, he's coming up with different reasons why he don't have to do it. He said it's on neighbor's property. We got in our custody now, their survey showing it is on his property. I spoke to the previous owner, it is on his property, and he's been just stretching us along in my mind. Yeah, we're gonna run into trouble, or someone's gonna run into trouble, and all we're doing is putting it off.
So if I'm hearing this right, the ditch, I know the ditch existed because I grew up in there. So when this person bought the property, he condemned the ditch. Correct?
Inside the store.
Yeah, a ditch which was flowing into town drainage systems.
Infrastructure.
Yeah, so I think it's clear. So, okay. That one stays on the list, obviously, it's not resolved, and we're going to have to double down on it in some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Okay?
Well, me personally, I'd give them an ultimatum, give them a week to dig it up and look at the different structure there for them. If not, we dig it up and we put in the proper necessary, whatever we need to do, culverts, and build them. Because I'm getting a call from the residents across the road, they're frightened that they're gonna be, all of a sudden they're gonna be flooded again. And everybody knows about it, but it's not getting rectified. And we got the means to rectify it because the culverts are going under the road, out by a resident, there are 2 residents, and out the river.
Okay? All right?
Yep.
Where we to? Butler Drive, land issue, remain on list. ERSB waste management, okay, remove, okay, that's good. And we said we're gonna leave the other one, right?
Leave 26, yeah.
26, okay. All right.
Before you adjourn, Santa Claus Parade, Saturday weather permitting, 10 a.m. starting at the fire hall, best Santa Claus parade in the province, don't forget everyone. Breakfast at the fire hall before the parade, 7 to 9 a.m. by donation. There's always good breakfast, so stop by for breakfast and then get out and watch Santa Claus. And then Sunday night at, is it 6? I gotta confirm. Anyway, it should be on the calendar events, is the nighttime illumination parade going from the fire hall again to the Legion, I believe. That's what it always was. So
There you have it, a busy weekend coming up in town of Bear Roberts, so we encourage all residents to get out and support and participate in all the events that have been planned. Yes, the best Santa Claus parade in the Bay by far, and if you have a float in it, make sure you get down there early to get lined up, or Neil Carley, Deputy Mayor Neil Carley will not be happy with you. Okay, that being said, we'll close up, so we need a motion to adjourn. Deputy Mayor Carley, seconded by Councillor Franny. All those in favour?
That's why I opposed.
All those opposed? No. Motion carried.